All right. We are live. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Welcome back. It's that time of the week. The best time of the week. The only time of the week that matters. It's time for Good Morning Azeroth. And it's episode number 22, baby. I hope you guys can hear me all right. I hope the stream is off to an unscuffed start. That would be a miracle. I am joined today by the lads, the one and only Paladin, Dunedain. How's it going, man?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing good. Considering I am not in beta, I'm very happy to be here and discuss the game with you guys. So the hype is still there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's good to see you again, Dunedain. Def Camp, my brother.
Yo, what's up, baby? I'm doing great. You know me. Got my snap one hand, ready to go.
What flavor are we drinking today, Def Camp?
Oh, raspberry, baby. Oh,
ooh, raspberry. You gotta love the raspberry. And Ale, the chieftain of the Ale Nation, is gracing us with his presence today. Ale, how the hell are you, man?
Doing great, man. Glad to be here.
Can we turn Dunedain up? Of course, man. Of course. Let me turn Dunedain
very
up.
Low, as is Def.
He's at 200%. I'm gonna turn you all up to 200%, man. All up. Everyone's at 200.
Turn it up, baby.
Everyone's at 200. Now, before we begin, though, you guys know our tradition here. 22 episodes. You guys know the drill by now. Def Camp, my man.
We need a power infusion. Is that what we need today? We need a power.
Let's go with the power infusion. I'm gonna need you to bless all of these brothers and sisters of Azeroth, both factions. I need you to bless them with a loud and thunderous greetings. A power infusion of sorts. Hit him with the Def Camp.
Here we go, baby. Good morning, Azeroth.
Oh,
It's a nice one.
you get better every time, man. You get better every time. That is a good intro right there. That is good. I think we blew some car speakers out.
Again, yeah.
Maybe you could tell the people. Am I too loud? I feel like I'm too loud. I'm off the Richter scale. Can you tell the chat quickly before we begin Def Camp what that guy once said about his car? That cracks me up, doing.
We were doing Good Morning Azeroth, and I guess he was not aware of the tradition. How it was driving down, in his car. All of a sudden, we hear "good" blew out his fucking car speakers. I'm sorry about that again, man. I'm really sorry. I feel really bad, but yeah, that's why now on we always gotta have a warning beforehand.
Hell yeah.
Just a little sound check. Can you hear me good right now? Is the sound okay for everyone?
Yeah, I can hear you good. Can you hear the music though? I can hear the music now. Okay, thankfully we're good. I can hear the Stormwind or the
I'm always hearing
something music.
Baby.
Okay, good. You guys chat. Can you guys hear the music? Real quick scuff check. Can everybody hear the music in the chat? The beautiful WoW OST.
Yeah, everything.
Oh,
all
dude,
good.
Ale's got some fans in the chat too. Hell yeah, big Ale's here today. All right, guys. So we've been playing. How long has the beta been going on? A couple weeks, right? Probably a month. Probably a month.
Yeah. I think it's over a month.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's got to be now, right?
Over a month. Oh, sweet. We got a biddy. I heard biddies. 100 Paladin Volume Check Pride 100. Thank you very much, Code Blue, for the 200 biddies. You got some Paladin Pride in the chat. Guys, quickly, as we get started, what class are you guys going to play in Classic WoW? I need to see the distribution in the chat, guys. Let's get hyped, dude. We're like a couple months out, man. Maybe even less than that. What, like 50, 60 days, something like that? That's crazy, man. We are almost there. I need to see it. What are you guys going to play? What are you going to main? It's a big deal. So we have some talking points today. This is GMA 22. We've done 22 of these damn things now. And we're going to talk about any, none, or all of these things. We're just kind of freestyle a nice little natural conversation with you guys, talking about all things classic. On the menu, we have stuff like AoE leeway, melee leeway, launch predictions. What do we think the game is going to look like, given, what we know about the beta and all this. Yo, Sarmatican did it again. I can't. Dude.
Hey, hit you up with the, oh my god,
oh,
there it is.
Dude.
There it is.
The legend. He strikes again. The High Warlord, dude. Sarmatican, dude. Thank you very much, dude. He's just adding more integers every time. There's a 1 and many zeros after it of bits. Thank you very much, dude. Undead Mage Hype. Thank you very much, Sarmatican, for your continued support. Keeping a roof over your boy's head, keeping some Coors Light in your boy's fridge. Many thanks, much obliged, Sarmatican. Hope we get to meet you someday, man. I totally forgot what I was talking about. We're talking about topics, right? Anything you guys want to talk
asked
about?
the classes, but I feel like we need a straw poll, actually.
Oh,
A
already?
straw poll.
Damn.
Never done one
Yeah.
of those before. All right.
Oh,
What are we polling, doing then?
for class?
The class.
What class?
I didn't see any rogue, but that's hard to believe.
Ah, feels good,
Dude, you
man.
know
No
what I've
rogues.
noticed? Like on the beta, I don't know what it is, but have you guys noticed as well? There are not as many rogues as I thought. Like, I don't know if this is gonna be something that's gonna be like this in Classic, but I was expecting way more rogues in the beta. Like I've seen, I think, more shamans than rogues, personally. I don't know. What do you guys feel like that there's not enough? You guys feel similar about that? Like there's not as many rogues as you thought?
They're all stealthed, man. You can't see
That's
them.
true. That's true. They're all stealth. Yeah, that's what everyone says. Everyone tells me in chat, like, dude, they're just stealth. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense. That's
Yeah.
good. I mean,
But even in BGs too, I don't know, man.
I'm a little impressed by the cal. I mean, people have been playing the game at a pretty high level on this beta, but I feel like when it opens up to the masses and we're at launch day, do you think it's gonna follow the original trend of like back during a regular classic of like lots of melee, lots of warriors, hunters, and rogues? I would say would be the most played.
Class.
Even though rogues and hunters have been trending downwards on private servers, I have to say people it's less and less. Yeah, but
I feel like rogues have been trended downwards since Burning Crusade, and they never got to their old levels again. But I feel like movies or YouTube videos like World of Warcraft and stuff, those hyped the rogue class really a lot. And I guess if people go and watch those again, people will probably play rogue. But I think rogue will probably be a little bit lower than expected.
All because of Cargo's shit posting on them. Yep.
Yeah.
oh yeah, sure.
Don't you feel like people who are playing Classic right now in the beta, or people who are watching these streams, I feel like they tend to go to hybrid classes more.
A lot of shaman love. Someone was saying Preach was showing shaman love. There's been Sea-Doo clapping people on the shaman. There's been Big Ale clapping people with the shaman.
I'm telling you, and not to mention, like, I think people are seeing their full like potential. Like people are doing dungeons. They're tanking with them. They're destroying. You know, Ale at level 30 friggin' one hit me. Even though at level 40 I beat him twice, 2 out of 2 duels. I beat you. That's right, Ale. I'm not gonna let you live that one down. But at level 30, yeah, you did one hit me. So, but yeah, shamans are extremely strong, and I think we're gonna see some more love for the hybrid classes.
Well, I think people forget a little bit that there's more to the game than just like high-end rating, and that's where like that separation is for people. They're like, you know, these hybrid classes, they feel like they aren't good just because they can't put up top DPS, but there's a whole lot more to the game than just end game rating, and these classes all have their niches that they're very strong in. And while leveling, it's, you know, every class has strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, it's true.
Shamans are dope. TLDR.
Yeah, and they get. I feel like they're very strong early on, but you know, something that I've noticed, and I'm sure a lot of you guys as well, is that with the dungeons not being as difficult as it were in private servers, I really do believe that a lot of shamans will be tanking through the leveling process in Classic. And I think that's good because, you know, it's less time you have to wait for groups. Potentially not have to worry about a warrior or a druid. A shaman could potentially tank as well. So, I think there's a lot of, you know, with better information and education, people start to realize that, oh, you know, these meme specs or these things that people thought about them way back in early vanilla when, you know, when druids did suck, when they couldn't tank, all that stuff isn't true anymore. And, you know, we have to kind of realize what this class, the potential that it really does.
You almost reach these critical, like these thresholds, right, where the dungeons feel easy enough that I almost prefer a shaman tank. Weirdly enough, like the shaman tanks I've seen have been very successful. They haven't really had any mana issues. They've been just like lining them up and knocking them down, and, you know, kind of taking multiple mobs as a warrior can be a little bit annoying, man. Like if anyone's ever tried to tank these low level dungeons as a warrior, like and having to tab sunder a bunch of stuff, like I don't know. I don't know. I like having a shaman tank. It's been I've had nothing but positive experiences so far with it. And if the dungeons have been very smooth, like we haven't really need to CC all that much. But anyway, real quick, Overlord, 200 biddies in the chat. Shaman, Mage, and Warlock have to be the most versatile and useful utility classes. They will be essential in raiding. I love those. Yeah, those classes are great, man. For sure.
Especially in Molten Core with Warlocks and yeah.
We should talk about
So,
that too. Predictions about
I feel
Molten
like
Core.
we should first give a little intro about Ale, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So Big Ale, you may see a new face in the chat. He's actually been on my stream on and off for the past weeks and has been a big part of the community. But if you've been living under a rock and you don't know who Big Ale is, we should share his stripes, man. So Big Ale here, he's not gonna say it, so I'm gonna say it for him. Full cleared, KT Nax back in the day. OG Vanilla WoW in the day, not on Nostalrius, not on private server. In the day, as a youngin, clapped down KT, very impressive, and is just a very good player. He's been on Countdown to Classic a bunch, also amazing engineer, full stack engineer. But I want to hear it from Ale first. Ale, could you introduce yourself to the people if you could be so kind?
Yeah, you pretty much covered the points there. I'm the full stack engineer for classicwow.live. Super hardcore, try hard PvE and PvP player. Like you said, I did everything there was to do for PvE in vanilla originally, and I'm hoping to do it again. I'm in the beta right now as well, so I've been on that as much as I can and playing with you guys and missing doing a day in there, but hopefully soon.
Hopefully
Soon. It's been, let me first say, it's been really fun being actually able to play with you guys. It's been surreal, man. Like, we leveled the 30 to 40 with Ale pretty much, like doing it as a little group and doing ABs with Def Camp and playing against other streamers, man, dude. Like
Reckon Asmongold and Swifty, that was great.
I'm getting a little taste of what's to come, dude. It's gonna be an absolute era. Like, as much as I like playing with all the other streamers and stuff, it's really fun. I can't wait till we have our own little nook and cranny of Azeroth, our own little realm to call home, man. It is gonna be
I have to say, not being in the beta, it's pretty hard actually. We don't get any new news posts like we used to get before, so there's really nothing to look forward to right now. The only thing we can do is watch streams, but we cannot actually play it, so that's pretty hard. And I noticed it in the guild as well. The guild used to be very active in the chat, and people kind of the hype kind of died down a little bit, but I guess it will come back soon. I hope.
It's true.
I mean, this is a question that a lot of people have been asking. Is like in stream is like, Def, what do you think is going to happen if the beta goes up to 60? Is the hype going to die down? Is this going to happen? This is going to happen? I think honestly, the launch is going to be crazy. I really do. I think the fact that everyone's going to be able to play together, everyone's going to be able to on there. I really feel that, first of all, just overall, everything feels good. Everything's amazing so far. There are some minor worries and things of contention, but, when it comes to lettering and stuff like that. But I really do believe that once, the hype's been like a roller coaster ever since the announcement. And I feel like when that launch hits, dude, it's going to go boom, skyrocket, baby. And it's going up, and it's going to stay up.
Yeah, I think so. No, I think you're right. Classic WoW, it's okay to watch streams, but if it's all you can do, it's not really that entertaining. So I think when you actually can play it, the hype will stay up for years, probably.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I noticed that only one vote went to Paladins, and I'm the one voted on Paladin.
No way. So one person? I thought Paladins would be really popular.
Yeah.
I think our chat is all Horde. That's why, right? We're all Horde players. You're all the Alliance since left.
Yeah,
they all
we
left
are
the game.
pretty much. Yeah.
I got a vote still, actually.
Wait a minute. Did you refresh them? Oh yeah, it's just one vote.
Yeah.
And one vote to shit class rogue. Dude,
oh,
you
nice.
gotta start. You are digging yourself a grave, Cargos. Like, you are literally gonna have an entire guild who's gonna be out to get you. You know that, right?
We can bring the Ugas on. I want some Alliance Ugas to clap down. All good. I'll be out there with Death Camp. I'll be out there with the Faps and the Howl of Terror, so I could fear all four of those guys away. Man, they open up on me. Okay, it does bother me though. I gotta say that the Warlock trinket doesn't break stun. That bothers me, man. That's weird.
Rough,
it's
dude. That
it's
is
funky.
rough.
It's funky. Like,
You gotta have plenty of free action potions, brother. Plenty.
Even more
plenty of
reason to play Orc Warlock though, for real though, because at least you get like the 15,
Yes.
the 25 plus whatever your baseline resist is, so it's probably something like
Very
30%
true.
chance
Very
to
true.
resist. Because once they get that CC chain on you with stuns, you can.
So what does it do? It does Poly, Fear.
Yeah, it's
what else?
Charm, Poly Charm, and Fear. Poly Charm and Fear.
Oh god, so for Undead Warlock, it's like double. It's like you have like Will Forsaken, and then obviously you can't. Will Forsaken doesn't work against Polymorph, but as much as you would like it to, but it's So it's interesting because if you're an Undead Warlock, it's like your trinket basically is like Will Forsaken, except it can polymorph as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, stun is very, very, very especially for a warlock, right? It's like you want to get out of those stuns. That is like one of your main issues. But dude, honestly, when we were going, I feel like Warlock Shadow Priest is so strong.
I think so too.
We could wreck some people.
We really could wreck some people. Yeah. Absolutely. I feel very capable as a warlock. Let me tell you real quick. Kobu, 200 more biddies in the chat. He says, "I am still here, you horde filth. I will kill you all in Warsong Gulch. Bring it on, bro. Bring it on. I invite the Alliance to our server. I hope we have multiple Alliance guilds on our server that want to put up a fight because I'm not gonna lie. I think the faction balance that's a legitimate concern right now. It may be an Alliance genocide on our server." It may be like 90-10. I don't know, man. I mean, we'll see. We'll see, right?
Do you think it will be unbalanced?
I don't know. We'll see. What do you guys think? Do you think what is going to happen on streamer servers? You think it will be a healthy amount of people on both sides? Just throwing it out there. I don't know. I mean, we have a lot of different communities coming together playing Horde on the same server. All your guys' communities. I know Dawkins rolling. He's going to be a different guild, but he's going to be on our faction.
I hope that. I know for a fact there are going to be some people that have already told me on my stream that they are going to roll the same server I am, but Alliance.
Oh, really? They've said that? Okay.
Yes, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. We literally... I would hate for our server to be 70-30. I want it to be at least 60-40.
I would like that, yeah, because it's more,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like if you watch forums with guilds and guild invites, there are almost always more horde guilds on those forums, and it's 75-25 on most forums I checked. I post my guild on those, so that's why I know. But I don't know. Do you think most people play horde nowadays, or maybe
retail
new people rather go with Alliance?
People were telling me on retail Horde has the edge, and that more people play Horde, and that Blood Elf is the most played race. I could be wrong. This is just what I'm hearing through the grapevine. I don't really talk with that many BFA players anymore. But
I want to ask you guys something though. Do you guys feel? I mean, I feel like this completely. I feel like okay. So for me, I explained this before. My first character was Alliance. I love the cities. I love everything. I love the quests. I love all this, but I don't feel connected to the Alliance. I feel so connected to the Horde, right? The brotherly aspect. But the Horde of vanilla is so different to the Horde of retail. Do you guys think that that will make a big difference? Because I really feel like the Alliance of vanilla is different than the Alliance of retail. People who have never played, or who may be like, oh yeah, I'm all for the Horde in retail, might be like, oh, you know what, I'm all for because they're so different. The factions feel completely different, in my opinion, than they do in Classic compared to retail.
They do. But I think it's mainly because of the Blood Elves. That's how I
probably. Yeah, that's probably.
We had to have a pretty cute race, man. That's what they said. Okay, real quick though. Overlord with the 200 biddies. Get out of here, Code Blue. The only thing Paladins are good for is mind controlling and getting in buffs before raids. Shots fired, dude. Shots fired. So here's my thing with the Alliance vs Horde. I like them both. I appreciate the game. I'm trying more and more every day to appreciate the game like how John Madden appreciates football. I'm looking at seasons, the server life cycle as one game. I compare it to a MOBA. I've said this spiel a million times, but I think it actually sticks. In a MOBA, it takes an hour to play a game of Dota, and you go through it, and every time you make a level 1, you level up, you get your, you buy your little tangos at the beginning, you buy your little branches, and you get all your gear, and you level up. I see a comparison, a parallel with WoW, but okay, that's kind of a tangent, but at the same time, what I was going to say is that I like the Alliance 1 to 30 early levels more. I enjoy it more. The quest lines, Duskwood, Redridge, Westfall, Elwyn, all these zones are beautiful, immaculately done, amazing, beautiful, rich lore, amazing. You can cut, it's palpable juiciness, but then, once it starts to converge all those later zones and the Horde and Alliance are there, I like the Horde experience as a whole more. I start to miss Horde once I get to 35. Yes. I'm like, yo, I miss the Horde, man.
I know exactly what you mean, dude. I know exactly what you mean, and like
I see what you're saying, but I kind of miss Stormwind if I'm not playing Alliance. And Ironforge, I really like those two cities. I don't really care about their Nessus that much, but Ironforge and Stormwind and the music in there, you spend quite a lot of time in those cities, right?
I have a way you can fix this, dude. Just go rogue and just sit in and just gank people in Ironforge and Stormwind all day as an undead rogue.
yeah, we'll think about that.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that you can play both Dunedain and then you end up missing Alliance more, that probably means you're an Alliance player through and through. You know, you have more of an attachment with them. Like, what about you, El? You played both now. You've been playing a lot of Shaman. Seems like you've been getting into the Shaman a little bit more than maybe you anticipated. I mean, I don't. Where are you at?
Faction.
Yeah, like everything for me is brand new. I kind of got to side with Dunedain a bit here. When I was running around Westfall, and I was kind of missing it just a little bit. Honestly, it's gonna get a lot of hate probably, but there is a whole bunch of nostalgia for me there, with especially the music. You know, the music is what really gets me. Like I hear that music, and it just, man, it takes you somewhere, right?
It does.
Yeah.
So for me, everything I've done on Horde, I've never leveled a 60 to Horde before, only up to like 30. So everything that I've done has been like, it's a new experience for me, and I've been loving that too. So I can't wait to go all the way to 60, and like for me, it's going to be a totally fresh experience, right?
Dude, that's beautiful right there. I mean, so I did this as well, Al, recently. So my first character was Alliance, and like I said, I love those cities, and I fell in love with that. But I hadn't played Alliance for 15 whatever some years. I did it on a private server, and experiencing all that over again. And there was places that I never did before, like Loch Modan. I never did any questing there. Like playing this game that's 15 years old and experiencing these things for the first time is so awesome. A lot of those people out there who are like gung ho, Horde or Alliance, you owe it to yourself to maybe just give it a try and like go through the leveling experience and and just think about the game for a minute, and like think about all these aspects of the game you may have never experienced. Maybe you never tanked before, maybe you never healed before. Like there's still so much that this game can offer, even though it's 15 years old. It's unbelievable.
It's true.
It's so true.
Yeah.
You gotta realize I played Horde most of the time in my WoW career.
You played Horde?
Yeah, I played Horde from the Burning Crusades until my friends all quit, and then I jumped to the Alliance again. So, but I usually play I wanted to say I played Blood Elf, but that's not true. I played a troll most of the time. So
Troll Hunter, right?
Wow.
I know Troll Druid.
Troll Druid.
Okay, I could see you as a Druid. Okay. Yeah. I got you. Little known fact about me though, guys. Navik was at my wedding, and so was Egregious, and they were talking to some of my groomsmen who played vanilla with me back in the day. And people, I have a reputation as being a orc hunter. But Orc Hunter actually wasn't my first 60. It was not my first 60. The first character I ever made was a Tauren warrior on Illyria realm. It was a normal realm, and I just made a little Tauren warrior named Sharper Edge. It was named after my gamer tag on Xbox. But my first character I actually got the 60 with. Can you guess what it is, Dunedain?
Wow.
It is very weird, bro. Nobody's gonna guess it.
Oh, it's probably a Night Elf Rogue. Everybody goes.
No.
I was gonna say Night Elf Hunter, but
the first character I actually got the 60 with was a Dwarf Paladin, bro.
Get out of here!
And Navik was talking to my friend Max, and he was like, "Yo, so like James was playing Orc Hunter, like he was talking about me playing Hunter and stuff." And Max was like, "When I was playing with him and like when we first started playing together, because we were playing as a bunch of friends, we actually went Alliance first, and it was only until kind of after that all resolved a little bit. We played on Dark Iron server that I ended up going Horde, but." A good chunk of my actual vanilla days was Alliance. Just a little fun fact for everybody.
How did I never know this?
I know it's weird. I try to sweep it under the rug, man. Like I'm not a Dwarf Pally.
Same thing with my Night Elf Rogue. I'm like, oh yeah, that's my first character, but
Man,
Do you still have that character?
Me?
No, both.
I do, but yeah.
Cargus, you still have that dwarf?
I can't find him, dude. I really don't know what happened to him. All I do remember is this though. So the day after, I got a Zandalari hero charm on literally the day after my account got hacked and I lost everything, and it like totally demoralized me. I remember I got to experience Zandalari Hero Charm. I logged off at that island where you turn it in, right in Strengthorn, and then it was over, dude. It was over.
As a paladin, you had a hero charm?
Well, was it the hero charm? It was some kind of trinket or something, right? You turn in all the things, right? It had to have been that, right?
The gear, you're talking about the gear that you get there, or yeah?
No, hero charm's a trinket.
Yeah, it was definitely the trinket.
Soul power one, right? Yeah.
100% it was that then. But the day after, you can max. I got to experience it for like a couple hours, and it was GG for the pally. So.
You almost joined the right side.
Almost. I'm definitely a horde player now, but it's just a little fun factoid right there. Expose myself to the world.
I never see his paladin though. So like, what made you want to play paladin?
My friends were going Alliance, man. It looked kind of cool to me, and I was hating it though. Like, I was doing ZGs, and I wanted to. Oh, okay. I also got really happy when I got my banana spalders, right? Tier 1, and I got a Finkel Lava Dredger, and I was feeling on top of the world, but I couldn't go Ret, and like Ret was kind of like a meme, and my role in ZG, they were telling me to just stay way back and stay out of combat and buff people and just like res people after they all wiped, you know, like I was like not having a good time. Like I was like, dude, this is whack. Like this is so whack. This is not what I want to do. And now I've come full circle. Now I love paladins. I appreciate paladins, the buffs, and the super high impact across the board, really across every axis of the game. But back in the day, being a little lost in the sauce noob, I wasn't really enjoying it too much, so rerolled.
So many people who start out as a dwarf, they actually fall in love with that starting zone. I think Death Camp.
Oh, I love it, dude. Okay, Dunmoreau and Lochmadan are amazing, and like I never even thought of playing a dwarf until recently, and like I wanted to re-experience my alliance, roots when I first started playing. So I made a dwarf rogue, about what was this, about maybe 2 years ago or so on a private server, maybe a little less than that. Mm-hmm. And I absolutely fell in love with. I mean, I already loved Dunmoreau, right? But I never did the quest there in vanilla. And doing those quests in Dunmoreau, in Lochmadan, was such an amazing experience. And like playing this dwarf rogue, I think dwarf is honestly probably my favorite race on the alliance side. I really think so. Like I love Stoneform is fucking amazing. When you're dueling another rogue and you can just Stoneform out of a blind, dude, it's such a good feeling. It's almost like Cloak of Shadows, you know what I mean? Like which came out in BC, it's like Cloak of Shadows for bleeds, poisons, and diseases. And like, I fell in love with the lore, all of that, and like as much as I love Horde, I love the camaraderie and the brother fucking like in arms thing about the Horde. But when it comes to dwarf, dude, I don't know what it is. It's pretty cool. I do like it.
They've grown on me a lot. Yeah, I've come full circle on them. They're kind of little badass, especially they look when they get armored out, they look pretty sweet. Seeing dwarf hunters running through. Yeah, I don't know. They're pretty cool.
Dwarf priest in tier 1. Tier 1.
So there's some stuff you wanted to talk about, Cargos. Shall we start with that AoE melee stuff you wanted to say?
Yeah, do any of you guys have any initial thoughts? I can jump in. I'm a blabbermouth today. I drank a lot of caffeine, so if you guys have any initial thoughts on AoE leeway and melee leeway, we can start there.
Well, I think you should.
Okay, I can introduce it. All right, so
So
melee leeway and AoE leeway. These are both like they're potentially mechanics that were introduced in MoP. I don't know for sure. That's what I've been told by Ztox, and some other people have echoed that sentiment. I don't know if anyone knows for absolute sure. There's a lot of big brain people way smarter than myself out there investigating this issue. If you have opinions on this, feel free to share them. But ultimately what this leeway is that if two entities are moving, they're both moving. One could be jumping, they could be moving, they could be strafing, whatever. If two entities are moving, if the person like swinging at them with melee will get an additional up to an additional 2.66 yards of additional reach, of additional hitbox or range or whatever, right? If both parties are moving. People are testing it by one dude jumping it and a guy strafing back and forth to see if they can hit him. And this, some people are saying, is Blizz vanilla-like? It's totally correct. It's how it was in vanilla. Some people are saying it was introduced in MoP. Do you guys have any opinions there? That's melee leeway. We'll talk about AoE leeway before we start. Is the same thing, but with AoE spells. So with AoE spells would get additional range if two parties are both moving. Okay.
I thought I remember melee leeway. I thought I did. Now I'm trying to think of it like in terms of like how you said. For me, like when I'm trying to remember on my rogue, but I don't remember it being as much as it is now in the beta. I think it feels like it's a little with a lot of things as well. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I feel like maybe it's a little too much. I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to remember exactly like how everything was back in 14 whatever years ago. But oh wait. So someone Melron just said got some feedback from some sources that it isn't actually melee leeway. It's server tick leeway. Oh yes, and I was talking to Melron about this actually, and it's can you elaborate on that, Melron? Because that is
I think I know what he means right now, because I've heard some people talking about how melee attacks get batched. They put into a sort of batch to a certain extent, and that you can be super far away and the batch will still resolve, and like your hits will,
Because basically what's happening is, guys, it's like, so what you're seeing on the screen, it already happened, right? Everything you see happened in the past. So basically, a lot of and that this is what's going on with the batching and a lot of issues with kiting and things like this. So basically, what's happening is, this thing might have happened back when your character was 2 yards behind, but the way the batching works and the way the server works is you're just seeing it happening now. So it looks like you're getting this leeway, but actually you might not be. So that's what I actually thought it was, and it sounds like. So Melron says, but essentially the devs are creating an environment that is more messy because that's how it was back then. So yeah, so honestly, I think what Melron's saying here is like on private servers, things were actually more tight knit and more tighter than they were actually in vanilla, and the vanilla devs are trying to recreate this messy environment where things like that were able to happen because of the batching, because of server lag and stuff like that. So if that's true, that's pretty damn awesome that the devs are going that far to try to recreate.
That's another thing. So spell batching in vanilla apparently is supposed to be, spells are supposed to go up onto a stack and resolve every 400 milliseconds, right? And people experience this batching on private servers. You see the double polys, the blink and the gouge, and things like this. But on private servers, maybe people are saying this again. A lot of this is hearsay. I'm just the vessel communicating what I'm hearing. Is that private servers had like less batching. So it was like 200 millisecond batches instead of 400 milliseconds. And now this 400 milliseconds that we're experiencing on the beta right now is feeling super wonky to people when it may in fact be the way it was in OG vanilla. So, it seems like a really nuanced thing. I could see putting myself in the shoes of people watching this right now going like, yo, who the fuck cares? 2.6 yards, like up to 2.6 yards. Why is that a big deal? Whatever, just deal with it. What that actually translates into in terms of gameplay is that classes that are kiting, people that want to kite things around. So this could be AoE grinding, a big thing, right? Or a hunter trying to kite someone away, or just a mage trying to kite a warrior who's trying to attack them away, right? They're taking a lot more damage. They're getting hit a lot more, and especially with AoE grinding, if you have 10 mobs together or 12 mobs and they all connect for one additional attack on you, you're dead, fam. You're dead. Yeah. So we're experiencing this. The AoE grinding is harder. In addition to additional patrols and stuff running around and messing up the pulls a little bit. This is one, effect of this happening. So
I'm actually really impressed that the devs have gone that far to do that.
Do you feel it's a good thing? Don't you think it's like a step too far?
No,
because you now have like way better machinery. You have a better PC. You have better internet connection. Doesn't it feel like a little bit out of place?
I feel like a lot of this stuff was pivotal to vanilla, though. You know what I mean? And the gameplay that we had.
I feel like it's too much. I feel like it's about 30% too much, if that makes any sense. Like to me, it feels like a third, and some of it, I don't know if it's like other bugs kind of getting in the way, but for people who've seen the one clip where I get seduced for an entire second before a shadow bolt lands, like that might be another bug, or like it definitely feels slightly.
And you took damage before the seduce hit, right? Like you actually took that damage. Yeah. Okay.
I did.
No. Yeah.
So like that doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
I think they have more work to do on it to maybe tighten it up a little bit. I think right now it might be a little bit too much, and maybe that's the thing that they have to measure too. Is they've set it to how it was then, but like as Dunedin said, we all have better machines, internet's better, everything's a little bit better. Is it going to feel wrong now that we have better equipment than it did before because we aren't playing on potatoes, right?
I will say this though, I think they're going in the right direction with it, but a lot of it is as I have come to like realize for myself is, I've been playing on private servers for so long. I'm like, oh, I'm used to this. I'm used to this. I'm used to this. But I do feel like so there are some instances where it does feel a little wonky, where something happens where you're like there's no way in any possible like realm that could have happened. And when you add this together with the much faster load times and things like that for everything that you see on your end, and then you have this thing that's happening in the past, and so it feels, I understand, like it feels wrong because yes, like everything we're experiencing is kind of happening beforehand, but now our computers are so much faster, internet is so much faster that you're seeing it and it's looking different than it would have looked in vanilla, right? Basically, I think is kind of what's happening. So maybe if they can kind of correct for that minor, like you said, maybe that 20-30%, but I do feel like they're going in the right direction with this. Like exactly, the low ping. Thank you, Cam. I couldn't fucking think of the word. But I do feel like that this is like in the right direction. I mean, that the fact that they would try to recreate this just says to me that they really care about the feel of vanilla WoW and the gameplay. You know what I mean? And that, I think that overall is what I'm kind of taking out of this. And there are some instances where it does feel a little off. But
it's interesting though. They are picking and choosing. It's not like they're going to go for the purest, most authentic vanilla experience. Like this is WoW Classic. It's not vanilla WoW. Like there's some differences here, like with named mobs respawning. Okay, that's another thing though. So maybe I'm wrong, because apparently dynamic respawns were a thing in vanilla.
From the Horde.
Later.
I bet the Alliance won't match the dono. You my boy Cargos.
Stay Gucci Pony Boy with the $15, dude. Thank you very much, man. You the man. I appreciate the support, dude. So yeah, there are some. I don't know. I almost don't want to talk on it because I can't remember 15 years ago exactly how stuff was. I really can't.
It's hard. Yeah.
I'm noticing some stuff like Sarkoth respawning over and over again on top of himself to the point where there's a pile of corpses of Sarkoths. Is that like OG vanilla?
Like that as well. Yeah. And we got to remember this is still the beta, right? So they're still doing a lot of testing, right? A lot of this, like Al just said, like I'm sure they're still trying to get the numbers correct on a lot of these things. But I think like the idea of this, which was what I liked a lot. But now, Cargos, what you're saying, right? I've noticed the same thing where certain mobs, but then again, I was in STV and we're waiting for Bag Thera or whatever, Bag Thera to respawn, and it's like it's a half hour for a elite to respawn and all this, and that feels right. That feels like, but then again, you wait for like a certain named mob who's not an elite, and he's respawning every 2 minutes. You know what I mean? So it's like, why is the elite spawn every half hour? Why does that, and then this spawn is like going off like crazy, So and the other one, Baron Longshore over in south of Ratchet, he respawned as soon as he was dead. He
respawned, right? Yeah, these named mobs are respawning, but then some random mobs like Lochmadan, those Trogs up the second wave of Trogs. Like you do the first quest, Defense of King's Land, right, where you kill all the Trogs, you get the Trog tooth. The second wave of those Trogs are like 20 minutes to respawn. Some stuff like the Worgen and Duskwood. Apparently, that's a popular AOE spot. They weren't respawning for like 25 minutes either. So there's some funkiness. I don't know, maybe.
And, like the one thing I try to remember at the end of the day, it's beta, right? So there's obviously, just keep on reporting the bugs. Like, the other thing was an RFD hitting the gong. Is there supposed to be a 5-minute wait in between every gong hit? I don't remember that. I'm pretty sure that you could hit it twice in a row. But so like, I try to keep in mind at the end of the day, it's a beta. Report what you think may be a bug, and and I think and what's awesome, and I will say this, as guys who have been on the beta, you can attest to, I'm sure, they are fixing things. Like things are being fixed. Things that were big issues are now no longer issues. Like when it came to like the fort bug and all this other stuff, and the putting hots on a target going into combat wasn't going into combat. All that's been fixed. Al, we tested that. With renew on targets and all that's been fixed, so it feels a lot like they're working on this constantly. So I think that's something that we should remember, that it is like a moving piece of machinery,
Yeah, they are. And as for like the dynamic respawns thing, there was the developer Mark Kern talked a little bit about it, how it's kind of working but kind of not in the beta. But they had developed a system actually for mobs that have quests attached to them to respawn faster. So for example, if there's like a quest to kill a certain mob and there's none of those mobs spawned, it'll spawn some. So places where you're seeing like really fast respawns, those might be quest mobs. But he was also commenting saying that he didn't think it was working properly as well. So it's tough to say.
Yeah.
Real quick, yo, Code Blue, man, he answered the Horde's challenge, man. We got some Alliance representation here. He said the Horde challenges, the Alliance answers. He give freaking 10 tier 1 subs.
Whoa.
So welcome everybody, guys. Full Moon, J-Bot, Web Grill, Ayo for Yayo, Maylols, What's the Problem, Rados, Yellow, Bobo, Zivugi. Welcome to the channel, guys. Courtesy of Code Blue. My man, thank you very much. Stand as one for the Alliance. PogChamp, dude. Thank you very much for that. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna throw it out there. I'll just throw it out there to you guys. Maybe specifically even Ale, too, because Ale's probably been doing the most PvP. What are your major concerns moving forward, Ale? Do you have anything that stands out to you?
Honestly, like the melee leeway is a big thing. You aren't able to kite people as easily. I feel like it's mostly working, but like I said, I don't remember if it's right or not. But I feel like when you have a target snared, that leeway should be removed. That's what I remember, anyways. Where if you snare the target below 30% run speed, they won't be able to melee you with that increased range. So that also works in PvE. So it feels kind of weird how like you'll try to like Earthbind slow someone, but then they can still beat on you the whole time. And there are also like Warsong Gulch had a whole ton of issues, honestly.
Oh, with all the flag interactions and stuff. Yeah, that was a nightmare.
The flag interactions.
That was fun.
That's
you can
true.
actually like jump behind the base and things like that.
Well, isn't that supposed to be? Oh, you mean behind the base?
Yeah.
Okay,
So, like,
I thought. Okay,
I'm okay with the jumps where like you can do like a jump onto the tunnel and things like that.
Right,
but like
but
being able to jump behind the base or like get on like the lumber pile or
getting
stuff.
feared in between two logs, where you get stuck in between the two logs, and then you can go back, but you can't go back into the So we feared Swifty into the abyss, left him there.
Yeah, I mean melee leeway. Also, doesn't it feel weird that you can negate the melee leeway by hitting S and backpedaling? That like removes it somehow. I don't even understand how that works, but apparently that's the best practice now. Before you drop a Nova or a Cone, you start backpedaling as a mage to reduce the melee leeway so they can't hit you, and you hit them with that. And then what you were saying about the slows, Navik was echoing that yesterday. Like, so you're saying that mobs are slowed and they still have melee leeway. Yeah,
that's right. And so for me, like I remember, with the Earthbind Totem being able to kite mobs kind of like in a circle and not be meleeed. Same thing with Hamstring, and the same thing. It's like they just have this increased range, and it makes it way hard.
Forget about it if you're a Tarn. I feel it's even. If you're a Tarn, it's so bad, dude. It's like, oh my god, yeah.
You can't kite Tarn.
Yeah.
No, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
So a Tauren can potentially, it could be a shaman, it could be a warrior, can melee someone from 9.66 yards away. Interesting. Something to think about. And again, we're not super experts on this. We're just dumping what we've been hearing and what we've been experiencing in the beta on you guys. So one thing I want to bring up too next, this is something that's a little bit near and dear to my heart. Some people are very hit or miss on this. When it comes to AoE grinding and potential, AoE grinding as a whole, some people are beyond bored of that. That's like a fate worse than death, the AoE grind for 3 hours. It's like they have no interest, they don't like it. I kind of like it. It's like a puzzle every time for me, and it's so satisfying watching a lot of mobs like wither away and just die to arcane explosions or blizzards or whatever. So the point I'm going to is that mob tagging isn't working on the beta, so you can't mob tag for people. So what is mob tagging? Mob tagging is usually used for power leveling lower level characters, and that's when a lower level character will get the tag on a bunch of mobs, throw a little grenade on them, or if they have access to an AoE skill, they'll tag them all with an AoE skill, and then a higher level person or people will come in and kill all the mobs for them, and they'll get full experience from those mobs, and you're able to power level people through the world really quickly. You can do dungeon mob tagging. So my question to you guys as a community in the chat and to you guys on the show is mob tagging a good or bad thing? Should it be in vanilla? It was in OG vanilla. I can see a line of reasoning to suggest that mob tagging would be bad though, because you're kind of trivializing leveling content legitimately if you can do that once you have high level characters. So
but can I ask first, what part of it is not working? Does it not grant any XP, or does it grant fewer XP, or
they're just I'm pretty sure they're just sharing the tag, right? Or I actually don't know. People have been testing it.
I actually didn't know about it. I thought it was working in my
well, I tried, but it's not with a huge level difference. But on the stress test, I was level 1, and some people were level 5, and I was mob tagging, and they were killing my mobs, and I gained experience for it. So,
yeah,
but that's only like 4 levels difference. So
mob tag was never in OG vanilla. I'm fairly certain it was though, right? Mob tagging, going through.
Yeah.
I remember my buddy. He was on his druid. My real life friend at the time. He mob tagged me. He was mob tagging me through dead mines back in OG vanilla. He was using the hurricane. He was using the hurricane spell and doing it for me.
But he's saying maybe you never got 100% experience. Maybe you got a little bit less than 100. Because how would you know? I mean, yeah, it's possible that you didn't get 100%. But I think that's what's happening now, right? You're just not getting 100% of the experience that you would.
You still get the tag, you still get the loot, and you still get a little bit of experience.
You still get experience, you still get the loot, and I think for the most part, you have to test. I don't know if it's the more people that are involved with it, the less experience you get. But a lot of times I've been in groups, so I wasn't able to tag that way. But I'm pretty sure back in the day, I remember mob tagging as well back in the day. So I don't know if, unless you got a little bit less experience, but I'm pretty sure you that's how it was back in the day as well, like Cargo said. So
yeah.
Yeah.
As someone in chat says, it's basically if you just hit it once and someone else kills it who's not in your party, you should get the full experience, right?
Yeah.
Someone suggested that maybe it's based on how much damage you do. I'm actually not sure. I really should go test this myself.
That happened later, though, I think, right? And that was like Wrath. They started doing that.
Well, all I can say is I did some mob tagging on the stress test, and it worked just fine. So.
Okay, you're getting full of that. Okay, so that's TBD. That's something I'm just bringing up. We can move on then. I guess we can just readdress that in future episodes once we get a little bit more clarity on it. I definitely am going to go mess with that because I think that's a really compelling reason to roll a mage and roll a mage first. If you want, this could affect people's launch strategies. If mob tagging isn't working for whatever reason in dungeons or whatever, then that could really affect people's wanting to roll mage first. Another thing though is that apparently some people were asking me about slash camping out of instances to reset the instance, right? So, if you do a princess run in Maraudon, or if you do a Dire Maul tribute run, or if you do one of these dungeon runs and you want to reset at the beginning of the instance, slash camp isn't working, but what you can do is you need a third person in the group, and that third person, I think you log out and they reset it or something, and you log back in. People have found a workaround. So for those of you wondering, yeah, there has been a way to log back in the game and be outside the instance again, because that could DOA those instance farming if you are not able to go right back to the entrance right away. Right?
Are you telling me only one person gets back, or?
You need to have multiple people.
The whole party can't go back. Like the whole party can't just / camp and then you're outside the instance, right?
I don't think
working like it did on private.
No. I think you log out. What it is you log out and someone resets it, and then you log back in and you're outside of the instance. So before on private servers, you would go complete print. You would kill princess. You would jump down. You would kill the crocodile down in the water, and then you're all the way down in the water. Like you're not even near the beginning, right? So you would have to do / camp or whatever and log out and log back in, and you'd be outside of the correct entrance. You go back in and rinse and repeat. So that's something to just been bringing up right now.
What happened to get naked and die? That's also very easy to do. Yeah. That's what I do usually. Just get naked and die.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. That makes sense. All right, so we can move on here too. So mob tagging. Okay, World PvP. We can talk about that. Oh, AVs this weekend. I don't want to talk about. Yes. Are you getting baited out right now, Dunedain? You don't the beta talks. Do you have anything you want to talk about?
No, it's fine.
Okay. So this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, they're gonna open up the beta. They made a new server. It's called Field of Strife. And pretty much, I think it's an exciting opportunity. So you can make a character. It's going to start at level 58, and you can queue AV. And I don't think you can go out into the world, but you're still going to be at 58. And you're going to get to see Alterac Valley. We're going to be doing tests on Alterac Valley. So we could talk about that and what we want to do this weekend. But one thing I want to bring up, because I really like duo leveling, speed leveling, class combinations, and finding cool, funky talent, synergistic talents and stuff. You know, we can go into AV and go clear out the mines and stuff and show a little PvE gameplay there too. And it's still very much in spirit of AV. You know, it's still contributing in some sense. And we could go in there, Pally Warlock, and, you know, AoE grind and do fun stuff like that. So I very much intend to try cool class combinations out, and even in a PvE sense during this. And it saves a lot of time because we don't have to make new characters and level them all the way up to get access to their full kit. But
I can't wait for this. I cannot wait. I'm going to try every single class. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should I think we should Ooga some people with mages.
Ooga? Oh yes.
Think about if we had like 10 mages just going around just AoEing everything.
Dude. That sounds like awesome.
I don't know, we need some name suggestions in the chat. What can we call a group of mages?
Ale1, Ale2, Ale3, Ale4, Ale5, Ale6.
Def Squad.
The Ales.
That's cool.
Ale Nash.
Did Blizzard state it's only for the beta testers, or is it also for the testers?
So I read if you read the patch notes, right? It says, does anyone have it? Hold on, let me. I'm gonna read it. Exactly what it says. One sec. Hold on. AV patch blue post. Okay. Okay, here it is. So, what it says here is, we're playing in Alterac Valley, most part game. It says here for beta testers. Now, I don't know if that means only beta testers or if that means, but that's it's kind of what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's just beta testers. It's not
when beta testers log on. It says when beta testers log on. Into the Classic WoW beta at that time. So when beta testers log on is what it says.
I thought so, but maybe they stated something. No.
There's supposed to be one more stress test, though, right? Isn't there supposed to be a third one?
There will be two more. They posted the date somewhere, but I don't remember.
Okay.
There's the link. I just posted a link in YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So I hope that one thing that could be cool too. Honestly, what do you guys think about this? We have a weird opportunity to run AV over and over again and make instant characters. Could we see a shift in the AV metagame if we try out weird class like raid compositions and stuff? Could that I don't know.
40-man mage team?
I don't know, man.
Don't you feel like the level cap should be level 60?
I don't know why they're doing 58. Anybody know why they're doing 58?
Maybe
just
to prevent.
Let me hear your theory. Oh, for the meta shift, you think? Yeah.
Maybe.
Let me hear your theory, Al.
Yeah, my crackpot theory is they want the games to go long. And if we're under leveled, all like the mobs in there are like 60, the end bosses are 62. I think we're gonna struggle a lot to actually finish AVs because you'll need to have full groups fighting and have like kind of full control on the map. So maybe they want us to be under leveled so we can actually test like, summoning the gods, the Ibis, doing the all the little quests in there, gathering the rams and the wolves and everything like that. Maybe we're under level just so it can get fully tested, because if we're all 60, it's possible with it being 1.12 AV we could just stomp our way through it, right?
Yeah. Well,
that's a very good guess. That's a very
40-man raid 40-man raid team then for no everyone no glancing blows and shit. Be able to kill higher levels because a lot of the casters and stuff are going to have problems on the bosses and all because be resistant like crazy. So that's a good.
So that begs the question: Why did they have to go with 1.12? If they know, people would rush through it at level 60.
I agree. I mean, I'm on the same page with you. I mean, we talked about that. I mean, I feel like you're just going to lose that content forever. You might as well do the earlier one. But they probably have their reasons. My thing is this. So the meta of AV, right now, I mean, it's like this on retail too. I mean, I assume it's the same way in Classic. It's been forever since I've done like a real vanilla AV or whatever. But it's usually to run past each other. You don't turtle anymore and you fight for those mid graveyards back and forth. Both sides usually death ball past each other. Right, you send a back cap squad to go try and see if you have a chance of recapping some of those critical towers before they seal off, and then you pretty much go try and zerg into the enemy base and take their keeps so that you can reduce the amount of those really strong guards in the final keep. Then you kill the boss, right? But what Ale's saying, which makes sense to me, is maybe we're going to be too weak to do that. Maybe like being 58 is going to make it so that isn't as viable of a win condition to do that. Maybe the archers are just going to be clapping people, just sniping people, and people are just dying. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So it'll be interesting. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm ready for it. I really want to try a different bunch of stuff out. So I'm sure this weekend will be a lot of fun for streamers and stuff. Unfortunately, I wish more people. See, the thing is, right? If it's one server, you know, I don't know why. I guess maybe the PTR testers that would be too many people. I don't know, but you could have a good amount of AV games going on at a time if you invited everyone from the stress test. Maybe that's too many people. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know, but who knows? We'll see. We'll find out tomorrow, I guess, right?
Yeah, but it's something else to watch for. It's something else. I mean, as a stream watcher, I mean, it's not the same leveling stuff at level 40, capping and or capped at level 40 and running dungeons. So maybe it's interesting to watch some streams tomorrow.
Yeah.
So anything to add about that?
No, that's pretty much it. I mean, so stay tuned, guys. We're gonna be running with Countdown, right? With Josh over at Countdown to Class. That's gonna be fun. Hopefully, we have some good games with him and his
nice
community. We can do a little squad and roll through. It's gonna be fun. All right, so I got some other stuff to talk about too. Just chime in with whatever you guys want to talk about because we got a couple other topics. We have predictions for how long the beta is going to run and when the next stress test is going to be, how we think the beta is going as a whole, things like that. We can also talk about launch predictions. We can talk about professions and how the different phases, like phase 1 through 6, is going to affect maybe the profession meta and the economy. We can talk about world PvP, Ooga gang, stuff like that. What do you guys want to talk about?
Yeah, I like them all. So let's probably start with world PvP. So
okay,
yeah.
Phase 1 world PvP? What is that going to be like?
Well, I guess it's more or less depending on how the layering will do, right? Because layering kind of makes or breaks the world PvP.
It does.
In my opinion, and you guys just said the layering is getting worse on the beta.
Well,
right?
I think they're testing it. I think they're testing it.
Yeah, like you described it. I hope they are testing it. I guess there are not more than 3,000 people on the server, right?
I honestly don't know. I don't doubt it.
No.
I would doubt it. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they might just be testing it then.
Yeah, there have been instances where, like you guys saw when I was playing, and then this was like, 2-3 weeks ago when I was leveling up, and, the phase just happened, and stuff like that has been happening more. I've heard, I haven't experienced too much of it personally, but I know Cargos has. I think Ale has as well.
We had a real bad one last night. It was after the reset yesterday that we've noticed, so I think they've been really working on kind of ironing out the kinks with it as much as they could. There was an STV 10-on-10 raid set up, and just as we were about to engage them to fight, they all layered for some reason.
Oh wow!
And they just vanished without a trace.
Oh, the Chinese pre-made? The Chinese group?
Chinese pre-made.
Yeah, I was watching.
Yeah, so we all went back to Orgrimmar, and we're just hanging out. And so they were going to come to Orgrimmar as well. A few of us rode out to Ratchet to meet them, and we couldn't see them. So I actually tested. I have this clip on my channel. I logged into a character in Eastern Kingdoms, then logged back in, and then I could see them. And then I invited everybody to my raid so that we could actually fight them.
And then, again, right?
Yeah, and then we were fighting them in Orgrimmar, and then something happened. I think somebody dueled one of them, or there was like a duel with somebody in another phase, or a summon, or something happened, and they all phased away. And then we couldn't get them back. And they ended up all hearthing. It was so depressing.
So weird.
Damn.
So let me get this right. So you logged off your character. You left raid, right? You left the raid group. Logged off your character. Logged back on. Invited people to your raid, and they came into your phase, right? Or your layer. And then Okay, so yeah, because from what I've noticed, like when the layering was happening before, and I'm sure it could be different from now. I tried all those things, and it didn't seem like any of those things were affecting it. It was just kind of like you were either phased or you weren't, and it was like by the God's will. It was like I couldn't, even though I would log off, do this, do that. Maybe that thing you said, like going on another character, but it seems to me like there are some like different rules to the actual phasing thing that I just don't. Because they say they're trying to. I think they're going to try to make it like very hard to control, so that you can't do things like that, where you would be logging in and out and going phase to phase.
Because otherwise, what's the point in world PvP if you can just phase out, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I can piggyback on this. So we did our first episode of Magus Cast on last weekend. It was on North's channel. He's the host of it, and I'm going to be a permanent guest there. And we're talking about PvP mainly. And it's kind of a focus on mage, but we talk about PvP a lot. And I was asking OG Haptics and North. I was asking them, like, do you think it's going to be easier or harder to rank on Real Classic? And I was thinking in my mind it's going to be easier because it's going to be a smaller community. You're not going to have EU, China, NA all fighting at different hours at the time, breaking brackets in different languages, off peak hours, on peak hours. Not going to have any of that, right? So I was thinking it was going to be considerably easier. You're not going to have these crazy honor caps. But he was saying there's one caveat here that I wasn't thinking about. I don't know why I wasn't thinking about it. But Phase 2, they're going to roll out honor rewards. And the whole Rank 14 PvP system is going to come out Phase 2. But no BGs till Phase 3. So what that means is that usually the meta of these private servers is you're going to have a couple pre-mades that are going to assert dominance on these servers. They're going to roll in super heavy, and they're just going to dominate, and then the other team is going to give up after a couple fight. They're going to fight. The other teams are going to fight like a couple times, and they just give up, and they farm free honor more efficiently than anyone on the server. And they can control brackets, and they're just like the top dogs, and they say this is what the brackets are going to be, and everybody kind of falls in line with that. So the key thing is that group is farming honor more efficiently than the masses, right? But without BGs, it's going to be time spent. It's going to be a world PvP time spent check. So one thing I just thought of right now is when we're talking about the layering or the sharding, is it going to turn into a thing where people are manipulating and layering and sharding to fight more people constantly? So you're like bouncing between layers and shards of the ethereal plane, and you're trying to find people leaving Dire Maul, and you're just trying to like wipe as many people as possible, and you're like, there's a bunch of people on layer 6, man, like invite me to layer 6, and you go as a group and you clap everybody on layer 6, and you're like, oh, there's a bunch of people on layer 2 now, let's go to layer 2. And you're trying to, the meta of phase 2 might be trying to stay at Dire Maul for the longest amount of time with the least amount of people, so the honor isn't split up a lot. So I'll stop there.
Yeah, the only thing that they said that they don't want to have layering in phase 2, right?
Yeah,
but that's
they said it'll be done after phase 1.
Oh, right? Yeah, that's right. Okay, we'll rip that. I mean, it could be though if
if it does stay in, it will be problematic, right? Because
absolutely.
Like you said, you kill Kazakh, you go layer to the other one, kill him again, right?
No, there's no way. I mean, when we read that post too, and Dunedain and Carcass, you guys were all here. It said, a couple weeks to a month for layering. So I 100% do not expect layering to be in phase 2 at all. And if it was, that would be really bad. And I listen. I'm pretty sure like Blizzard knows that they can't do it past phase 1.
What are their solutions going to be for high pop servers?
That's the question, because I really think they're overestimating the amount of people that are going to be leaving.
Yes,
I think they're overestimating that, and I think they're underestimating the amount of people that are going to come back after they leave. I think a lot of people are going to come back. Yeah,
but I think the only solution is queues. So
yeah. What else can they do? I mean,
I really hope there will be a part of phase 1 without layering. Because I want to see those city raids, and that's the phase where you don't have dishonorable kills. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, so I really want to see that like
me too
danger in the world, and let's now go and take a horde city for like 2 or 3 days, something like.
I like what Matthew Chalmers is saying right now on YouTube. He was saying, and this is something that Blizzard could do because they can control. They don't have to commit to a hard date. Phase 2 starts then. So let's say that the streamer servers and some servers aren't consolidating down into one layer. They could stretch out phase 1 longer and longer until it makes sense to roll out phase 2.
I don't think they will do that, because then you have servers on different timelines. I think that's kind of hard to maintain.
Well, I think they would do it for all servers, right? They would just make them all.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. They would just wait a little bit till it made sense to move everything to phase 2. So
right.
Yeah, it's possible. But yeah, then again, some servers might stay at the 10k population. You never know.
Yeah, we were talking about that because, say for instance, Asmongold server, right, or Soda Pop, and say they both go on the same server or something like that. They're gonna have probably even at launch tens, over 10,000 probably people on that server. If there is no hard cap, right, because of the layers and all that. And even after the laying goes by, there's still going to be a huge population on that server. So, you're going to have some servers that have over 10,000 people, while other servers have 3,000 people. I think there needs to be a hard cap.
Absolutely. And it shouldn't
really
be too high. So it should be like 6k probably.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
They might think it should go to 12k. I feel like they think it's something like 9 to 12k should be the hard cap. I don't know why I feel like that. I guess because they gave examples of 3 layers, right?
3 layers, three or 4 layers, and I really think they think that a ton of people are going to leave after phase 1. I think there's going to be a lot of people that do, but I don't think it's and I think people are going to return as well.
Well, the big thing that I don't think people are talking about with why they actually need layering is that at the beginning, the issue is everybody is in the same locations at the same time. And as a server matures, people are going to spread out their playtimes. People are going to play late at night, early in the morning. They're going to be spread out throughout the zones. It's not going to be as big of an issue, right? Where at the beginning, everybody's going to be logging in on release, and you're going to be in those starting zones, in those first level zones, Barons and West.
Right.
And that's why they need the layering, because that's what kills servers, is everybody all being in one place at the same time.
Right, but the issue of the server population is still there no matter what, is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? Yeah. So when amount of hard caps will limit streamer overlap on a single server, very important. Yeah, exactly. I think there needs to be a hard cap. I really do.
I don't really understand your point, Ale, but I thought layering, it's continent wide, right? So it doesn't really matter that everyone's in the same zone or not, because you will still be on the same layer with your 3,000 people.
Right, but it allows them to split it up, right? Where otherwise it would be 10,000 people all in one server. Where this way they can have 3,000 per server and divide it up that way.
Yeah,
it still allows them to share the load, basically.
Yeah, it will still be overpopulated in those early zones. So yeah, I guess it kind of allows them to split it up. I think the main reason they made it is just to not have queue times and later on not have a huge drop off.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they're looking at. So if they don't have layering, it's like either people can play the game and there's issues with layering, or people can't play the game and they sit in a queue, or the service crash. That's the option Blizzard is looking at. Either people can play or people can't play, and they're always going to choose for people to play, even if it's an inconvenience and it's shitty, for a little while. I feel like that's kind of what they're doing with this. It's like either people play or they don't, and they're choosing people to play. It sucks if it's going to be in for any amount of time, but short term, it's I think the best we can hope for.
I think so.
See, the whole thing with the layerings to me, that's not the issue. I think the issue for me is what happens after. I'm not talking about the issue of the layering. My issue is if they allow 3 to 4 layers per server and have these servers with 12,000 people. What happens once the layering stops and we have these mega servers? And then that's kind of my issue is what is going to happen to there's going to be servers with 3,000, 12,000, all these different numbers, and I'm wondering what is going to happen afterwards, and because I really do feel like they're completely overestimating the amount of people that are going to leave. So my worry is not so much about what's going to happen in the first month or so, but what's going to happen after that.
Oh no, Cargos got late.
Maybe we should move to the next subject.
Yeah,
I think something about the profession. The Cargos types would dual leveling. I feel like proficiency in every phase.
Every different phase of and this is one question that a lot of people were asking me. Like, someone was like, "Oh, Def Camp, why don't you have Wizard Oil?" I was like, "Well, because it's the same issue as item progression, right? You can't get the Wizard Oil until what patch was it? Pre AQ patch, right? The Mana Oil, Brilliant Oils, and and I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to be. I mean, that's how it is in the beta right now. So so a good thing to realize is like a lot of these recipes or certain recipes that weren't available until certain patches or certain phases will also be not available till that certain patch. So I think that's one thing a lot of people were asking me about that in the stream is like, was Brilliant Wizard Oil available at the launch? No, those things are not available until they're relative.
So do you feel like there's like a tier list or professions for gold making in phase 1, and does it differ from phase 6?
Oh yeah, I think.
So what would be like the best profession to make gold, or what's like the top,
phase
top
1?
3 in phase 1? Yeah,
it's hard to say. A lot of it depends on the economy. Now, I mean, and our Black Lotuses are probably going to be BOE from the launch, right? I haven't even realized that because I don't think we've gotten to that point yet, but I'm pretty sure they will be, right?
They are BOE.
They are. Okay. They are BOE in the beta. I haven't seen the one yet. Yeah. So Herbalism will be rough in the beginning, but towards the latter end of phase 1 may be lucrative. But I think for a lot of people just leveling up and trying to make money, I think, first of all, like, I'm sure you can make some money. Already I've been like, making money, but we have seen the beta is a little bit different, right? Because you have these level 30 caps, these level 40 caps, but I think, leatherworking may be very lucrative, and, phase 1 people getting Devil Sword, making Devil Sword sets, things like that. For the most part, I don't know if you're talking about like because during the leveling process, obviously, skinning's great to make money off of while the auction house is still stabilizing.
Let's talk about this. Let's align on this. This is something I'm actually really excited to talk about with you guys. So we've just gone through, and doing that too, and you were on the stress test too, so you made a character recently. Like, we've just gone through the leveling process and seen a real official Classic WoW server unfold before our very eyes. It's a different meta though. We're not going to 60, right? And there's PvP at the jump. So I was feeling FOMO, feeling regrets, going like, man, maybe I should have leveled mining on the way up, because going back and mining all that copper and specifically tin was a nightmare. Like, remining all that tin once I was way past it, because these zones that have tin, they're still primarily copper, and like it's like a tin vein every like 4 nodes, and getting all the tin I needed was a nightmare. But so a part of me is thinking, come real classic, maybe I should integrate mining into my leveling route and try and, because I'm dual leveling, I can still have, still go get my wands with enchanting tailoring and still have 2 more slots available for mining engineering. So that's what I was thinking. But what you're saying this a second ago, Def Camp, saying that, and about skinning, that's potentially the play too, because we're not going to have PvP until phase 2 and BG still phase 3. So maybe mining engineering is devalued, and maybe skinning leatherworking has more value, or skinning in particular, because people are going for that week 1 molten core, that people are trying to get that pre-bis as soon as possible, and there's no PvP component. So maybe herbalism and skinning are buffed come real classic. What do you guys think about that? And also lay out what your strat is for professions.
As well.
Yeah,
tailoring as well. I mean, a lot of gear sets you can make with tailoring. Even like the regular leveling sets like Shadow Weave and all this, and then True Faith, and obviously you can make Robes of the Void for whatever. But so you could, I think, make some money off of that. I've actually made pretty good money even just with enchanting and with getting certain enchants at the level even. But I definitely do think those things will be more lucrative in the long run afterwards. But in phase 1, I really feel like, some of the best ones are going to be skinning, being able to get Devil Sword, and possibly herbalism as well, even in the early game, and even maybe stockpiling on some things, holding some things. But I definitely see skinning being very lucrative. Especially with, like you said, Cargos, with the fact that the PvP game is not going to be too big until phase 2. Yeah, people are still going to PvP in phase 1. You're still going to see people with all the PvP gear and all the engineering, trinkets, this, that, and the other. But for the most part, competitively, you won't need that until phase 2. So it gives some people to say, like, okay, I'm going to take skinning in phase 1, get as much gold as I can off of it, maybe farm some devil swords, you guys make some money like that, and then drop that for engineering when phase 2 is about to drop.
But then engineering will cost more to level then.
Exactly.
That's true.
So I still want to go level. I'm actually going to, so I'm going to dual level, right? Warlock, real quick. Overlord, 100 bits. My plan is skinning and herbs 1 to 59, then alchemy and herb at 60. That's a solid plan, I have to say. I don't think you can go wrong with that. Everyone needs those. But my plan right now, I think, dual leveling. So I'm gonna go engineering mining, and I'm gonna have my partner go enchanting tailoring. So if they're a priest, right, Def Camp, they have to make their set anyway, right?
That's what I'm doing, right? So maybe I'll be a good duo. Right?
So you got to make that set anyway. So they go that, and I'm gonna do mining engineering as we level, and hopefully we can get sufficiently ahead of the pack that's not gonna slow us down. Like I'm hoping you get it at Razor Hill. If you could only get mining at Orgrimmar, I probably wouldn't do it. But the fact that you can go to Razor Hill and for 10 copper pick up mining and start chipping away at those copper ores, the copper nodes, and even if you don't need engineering right off the bat, like we're gonna be streaming, man. People are gonna try and come at us. You know what I mean? And like
Argos, I just thought of something really, really, really fucking good. Like, so say I go tailoring and enchanting, you go
mining
engineering mining, right?
Yeah,
I give you all the stuff that helps you with so a shadow weave set, wand, this and other, and you hold, you should have enough mats for your engineering plus some with mining, right?
Yeah.
So any extra mats you have from mining, save for me.
Yeah.
So when I drop tailoring, I can power level my engineering.
Totally. And this is a massive acceleration of dual leveling, because if you're a wand user, you got to craft the wands. You have no choice. Like you have to craft the wand. Unless you're a mage, then you don't have to get greater because you're going to be AoE grinding anyway. But if you're a priest or a warlock or something, like you need the wands, man. And like if you're solo, you have to go enchanting tailoring. And then by the time you get enchanting tailoring done and craft your own wands, you're going to want to start using those cloth for first aid, and you're going to be beyond the mining of copper and stuff. So you're going to be asked out at that point. So dual leveling allows you to get more professions, while you're leveling up.
Very true. And hold on to the extras for I really like that idea.
So I'm thinking I want to just be set up for phase 2 so I can level alts and stuff too. So I get my guy all set up for phase 2, and like what A was saying, because I was thinking about that this morning, man. That then enchanting engineering is going to be more expensive to level up later too, right? Because people are going to be thinking that. I'm talking too much though. Doing a day in Ale, what are you guys gonna do?
I'm going enchanting, that's for sure. And I feel like skinning that's a safe bet, right? If you're not going to be ahead of the pack, and I don't expect I will be ahead of the pack, skinning is the only thing that guarantees me money, basically. So if you go like mining, because I plan to go with engineering and enchanting at level 60, but if you pick like mining and enchanting, there will probably not be enough nodes, and I will spend way too much time searching for mining nodes, because there will be plenty of people in the zone all the time. So I'd rather go with like the safe money route and go with skinning, and then later on I hope to have enough money made from enchanting and skinning so I can switch to engineering. I don't know, but I feel like even if you go ahead of the pack, you still need those copper nodes. There's you kind of need a lot of mining skill for before you can mine like iron. Or there's like
125,
you need to spend quite a lot of time, and if you're going ahead of the pack and try to level as fast as you can, I think it will probably take too much time.
Sure. I mean, if you plan it all out to the T, though, I think so much about speed leveling and getting ahead of the pack is making audibles on the move. Like every single fresh server is radically different from the other, right? Did you think that SM farming was going to be the best going into this 30 to 40 fresh?
Nope.
No fucking clue. Never even heard of that before. As far as being a really good strat.
So much XP.
You already know that when the real classic comes, it's going to be something you're going to have to. The best thing you can do is just become super comfortable with all the quests in the zones, super comfortable with how to level up professions, right? And make those calls on the fly, right? And make those calls on the fly and be able to pivot and adapt and be able to make those calls, right?
Personally, I really like professions in the game. It's not something I try to min-max most of the time at start, but I just do it for the fun. And I like blacksmithing for that reason. I like most crafting professions, not because they're good, because it's fun to do while leveling. So, but I'm not like trying to get to level 60 as fast as I can. So If you go like blacksmithing, you should always take mining with it. I feel, even though if it slows you down, it doesn't matter, because otherwise you don't have anything you can do with blacksmithing until you get like a few good recipes if you're lucky. I don't know.
What are you thinking? What are you thinking, El man? What is your strat? Do you have one, or use secret sauce right now?
Yeah, secret sauce.
Okay.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. I'll share all secrets. No, I'm kind of similar to Duneday, and I'm gonna go skinning, but I'm also gonna go mining, and I'm not gonna work too hard to level mining, but I'm gonna try and hit every node I can and get as high as I can. But the main thing for me, like, I'm gonna be playing as a warrior to start, is like I'm gonna need some income, right? So that's why I have skinning. Guaranteed you're gonna get money from that, just like Dunedain said. You're gonna be killing lots of mobs. You'll have lots of skins. But you end up running around a lot, and I think just having mining and being able to, like, get some early points in there. But I'm not going to farm it, right? My priority is going to be leveling, but just to hit any mine I can to get mining as high as I can, so I don't have to go back and farm as much later.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And you can, I mean, you don't need to necessarily farm you don't have to get ore the whole time, right? You can smelt your way up too, right? So it's actually a combination. You mine copper and tin, and you can smelt it to get other profession points too. So if you have a free moment while your partner is gone, or you have to go run to the bathroom or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could just go, you can continue to skill it up that way as well. But one thing that will happen is, if you don't, that's probably order of operations, right? When you hit 60, okay, what is the most important thing you guys think to do when you hit 60? Like the first thing. Let me see what you guys think though.
On each chain.
Well, you can start that before 60.
On each chain. Okay, from my perspective, it's getting some kind of income going. And I have way too often like fallen victim to this. On this beta, for example, like I tried to just go up, and I didn't really give a shit about professions that much, and I wasn't thinking what the gold making meta would be like at 40 or 30 when it happened. It was like a weird place to be at. You were 30 and you were expected to make all this gold. And what's going to happen is, if you start paying for upgrades or buying stuff off the auction house and you don't have any kind of income, is you're going to get yourself in an even worse spot, like an even bigger hole, because you're not going to have the money to even get yourself in a position to make money, if that makes sense. I don't know. I think establishing an income is probably the first thing I want to do when I get 60.
See, my thing is this: like there are certain items that I like to get that are BOE items, for example, like Cassandra's Grace, things like that I would like to get out of the way. So. But like you said, you got to have money to get that, right? So establishing some kind of way to get money. So for me, at this point, my thing, I want to make sure I can get, my True Faith investment, so I got to get the pattern, stuff like that for strat. So a lot of that I will be doing farming for BOEs, and a lot of this, like Al was saying, some of that stuff you can do while you're hitting level 60, right? So you can do dungeons, this, that, and the other. But I think a really important thing for some people as well is, like, a lot of people feel like they got to rush and get their epic mount right at 60. Do you guys feel like, I feel like gold first, for depending on what you're doing. So if you're going for a hardcore guild, like in my thing, I like to get certain items, BOE items especially, that I will need for my pre-raid best slot first before that I get my mount. Right, so that's what I want to do. Like, get certain items, Cassandra's Grace, that, the other, and then I can start working on my mount. But another thing that would be important too for a lot of people, like, if, say, Dunedain, your engineer, your enchanting is getting your reputations up. So if you need to get your reputation with the what's the names over in Eastern Plaguelands, and getting your and also getting hopefully good drops to get good recipes.
Argent Dawn, you mean? Right?
Argent Dawn, yeah. But I don't know if that'll be available at live, the hand enchant or whatever, the wrist one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, things like that, getting your reputations up, getting certain patterns hopefully to drop. Crusader, maybe farming for Crusader. Those are things that may be really important as well to do for someone, especially for an enchanter. See, maybe and hopefully you can do some MC runs to get.
There's so much to do once you hit level 6.
There really is.
It's hard to say.
Enchant as well. Yeah, Timbermaw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Everything gets
Reputation
accelerated
yeah.
by gold, though. Everything gets accelerated with gold. Like every aspect of the game, in some capacity, gets accelerated by gold. And establishing an income is important. And I had to go back, and I dug myself into a little bit of a hole on the beta, and I had to go back and level mining, and it was kind of a nightmare. But
yeah,
we got through it now.
Well, you learn though, right? And that's what's good. You learn, and a lot of us have been, so used to doing something, or we have an idea in our head, like, oh, this is great, and then you put it into action, you're like, wow, I didn't realize how much longer it would take to do this, and maybe I should just do it while leveling, even though it might take a little bit longer to get to level 60. I might not be the world's first, whatever, but if I want to maximize my profit at level 60, this is the right. The thing is, like, what's your goals? Is your goals to hit level 60 first in the server? If not, if you want to just hit level 60 at a relative good time and then have money at the end of it as well, then you might have to put a little bit more time and effort into your leveling process. If you're not going to be world's first, you're not going to be whatever. Do mining while you're leveling. It might take a little bit longer, but you're at the end of the day at level 60, you're going to be so much better off.
It's also class specific, though. It's class specific too, because like if you're a hunter, and I'm coming from this from a hunter perspective, I think that's I've developed some bad habits kind of from being a hunter player, to be honest. So on a fresh as a hunter, I don't give a fuck about anything. I literally just want to hit 60 and go into Maradon and start killing it. Like start doing princess runs. Like you don't like, because even if I were to level up mining, it's not going to make me more money than doing princess runs. You know what I mean? Taking all that time, I would literally just do princess runs. And on Zethkar, I had my epic mount in 1 day. I had it in 1 day, dude. Wow. I had it in 1 day of farming princess.
Were you selling runs?
No, a couple here or there. Like someone would post in chat and say like, "Yo, I'm trying to get Blackstone Ring," and then you would send it in there, or whatever. But even those, it kind of didn't even feel that worth it, to be honest, because it takes a while to get the person over there, and they kind of don't even know where to go, and you're like, you have to explain to them where to go.
So explain to me this, because I always wondered, how do you make so much gold? Like, I know from selling the items,
just vendor,
just vendoring everything, the blues, and that,
just
the
blues.
Make that much gold.
Just the blues and grays, and you can sell the ghost mushrooms if you have herbalism. But there's also some cloth in there.
I didn't think it was that lucrative that they can get that.
It's not that lucrative. It's like 50, 60 gold an hour. It's not that lucrative. It's not that lucrative, but it's very consistent and very easy and doable with 0 gear. So here's the weird thing that tripped me up, though, right? Yeah. On the beta, we weren't going to 60. Like the whole meta of gold making is just this weird area. Like so there's none of that stuff. So it depends on class too. It depends on a lot of things, right? But I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just it's We're gonna have Maradon on launch, right? Yeah, we're gonna have Maradon. So.
Yes, which is good. Which is like someone was just, because I'm like, that's good, because you for as me as a priest, right? My best way to make gold is DM East runs. I've made thousands of gold doing it. I sat in there for hours. I would work on videos and sit there and do DM East as a priest, holy noving, the lashers, and also as a herbalist, I was there. But for me, like, looking at level 60 now in phase 1 with no dire maul, I have to look at my options as a priest, especially where most of the time I'm going to be holy spec. What can I do, right, other than professions? There are some places I can farm that I know of that I'm not really going to share right now, because I'm a little worried that if I give it, but there are some things that I could do as a priest with Holy Nova, in phase 1 even. But for the most part, you're absolutely right, Cargos. A lot of it does have to do with the class.
It does.
Like, some classes are...
We have to have a private chat about it, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're a priest, right? You already have to get the tailoring up and make those items, right?
Yes.
So honestly, and North was telling me this too, fresh server just selling bags is actually pretty lucrative. If you just sell bags.
Especially you get ahead of the curve with your tailoring. I mean, like, you see it on the beta right now. Anyone who has rune cloth bags is killing it. Killing it right now. If you had Mageweave bags at level 30, it's killing. So imagine now, put that into example. Like, say you're level 40 and everyone else is level 30, whatever, and you're leveling pretty quick, and you can already make Mageweave bags. You're gonna make a pretty good amount of gold, even though people don't have that much gold to spend. You can still make something. You can still get something out of it, right? Everyone needs bags, exactly.
It's funny actually, because I think it's in the official book that came with the game. The vanilla game. Oh, really? I think it says like tailoring will make you money because everyone needs bags.
Wow. Yeah,
Melderon. It's in there.
Melderon is the master of bags. Yes, and he himself has said, like, even if you spend a gold or 2 gold or 3 gold on a bag, that gold that you just spent on the bag will make you gold. So
predictions on alchemy herbalism. Okay, so people are saying that not everybody's gonna have flasks. We're not gonna have this like it's not gonna be these crazy respawning lotuses every few minutes. Like, what do you guys think? Try and visualize classic. No, we know about the beta right now. What do you think is gonna happen to herbalism and alchemy?
I'm going to say this, even without Black Lotuses, and herbalism is still lucrative. Whether you're selling faps, whether you're selling mana pots, you don't even have to really sell flasks to make money with alchemy. You can make money with alchemy selling multiple different kinds of potions and elixirs and things and protection pots and things like that. So yes, selling flasks is lucrative, but there are other ways to do it as well.
It's going to be a major hit not having Dire Maul in, because a lot of people get consistent herbs from there. But I think one thing overlooking is also the transmutes, right?
Yep, transmutes. Yep.
So people are going to be farming that Arcanite and getting the bars for the warrior patterns. I think Lionheart Helm is in phase 1, right? But the pants are not.
Should be, yeah. I remember, on fresh servers, people getting Lionheart really quick and having one dude on the server having Lionheart and everybody
so things like that and like Thunder Fury, like Arcanite's going to be huge. So selling that cooldown every day, I think that's where the bulk of the alchemy's like consistent money is going to come.
But that's not that much money, right? But it's right. It's
a decent amount of money. I mean, that on top of what else you can.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make so consider your transmutations. And with selling mana pots and friggin'
I feel like mana pots and health pots
and free action pots. You know what I mean? Think free action pots too, dude.
Dude, I have bought so many faps in Swiftness. Swiftness is my favorite consumable. I've spent so much gold
even
on
in phase
Swiftness.
1, dude. Even in phase 1, you're gonna sell them. You're gonna sell them.
100%.
Like even in phase 1.
You cannot go wrong with alchemy if you want to make money. It will always make
I'm
money.
so addicted to faps and swiftnesses as a warlock. I feel like they're so important to have faps and swiftnesses.
You heard it here, guys. First, Cargos is addicted to swift faps.
Swift faps, dude.
So is anything known about the cooldown on the Black Lotus pounds?
It'll be less than private server.
I haven't heard anything about it. Have we heard? Because you're saying right now people are already getting beta. I haven't. But I don't know if I'm sure it is going to be more, like Cargo said, but I don't think anyone has come out with that information yet. I don't know, nothing that I know of.
The cooldown will be higher.
It'll be longer, right?
Yeah.
Cooldown will be longer.
Yeah.
There's like dynamic respawns on Lotuses on. Yes. I'm pretty sure on Northdale. But one thing I was gonna say, what are you guys gonna do with alts and professions? What's the play there? Like, you know what I mean? You're 60, you got your income set up, you're probably going to be engineering something, right? Like for me, it's going to probably end up being just mining engineering the whole way, because it's also the style of income. So some people want to take the time out of the day to go farm and consciously put themselves towards farming mentally and just go farm. I like more of the passive style of income, node here, node there, I don't care, throw it up, whatever. I like that style. So, but I'm thinking on the alts. What do you guys think about that?
You guys go ahead first.
Yeah, basically, I'm not min-maxing on alts, and I'm not min-maxing my alts for my main either. So if I will probably go to Hunter as an alt, and I feel like leatherworking suits the Hunter, so I will probably just go with leatherworking and skinning. But that's because it thematically suits the Hunter, in my opinion. So there's not really something special.
Yeah, or maybe alts are not. Maybe alt professions aren't a big deal for you. I mean, to me, what initially comes to mind is enchanting, right? Because you don't need to. You don't like. You could if you're not enchanting.
Actually, can you repeat it, Cargos?
Yeah, you broke up.
Oh, enchanting. I'm saying you could just send stuff. Like you don't need to be like 300 enchanting to disenchant something. You can disenchant stuff at any level in vanilla, right? So you could have this. You could have it, but that's kind of a generic answer. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe herbalism, alchemy, and then I don't know.
Yeah, herbalism alchemy is always good on an alt, of course.
That is usually always my alt right there. Yeah. My alt is almost always herb alt. Especially my alt's going to be Tarn Shaman, so he is 100% going into herb alt. And
well, now I think about it, I probably rather go with herbalism alchemy than working on Hunter. Yeah. What about you, Ale?
Yeah, I'm going to be leveling a shaman directly after the warrior if I can. I'm going to do the same thing except with herbalism. So I'm going to do skinning herbalism, and then after transition into herbalism alchemy.
Nice.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Mhm. I will probably only min-max my profession on main, like
Yeah,
going like engineering with enchanting something.
Yeah, like for my main, I want in. I'm still honestly, like I've talked to you about this, Dunedin. I feel like for myself, if I'm gonna keep enchanting, right, I want to make sure I'm getting the most out of it that I can. I want to get the best recipes I can. I want to stay on top of it. I want to stay on top of my making sure that I have the right reputations and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And so like, but honestly, like I feel like this: if I don't have, like the bonus healing or spell power from MC, like if I don't get that, I don't know if it's worth it for me.
Yeah,
like,
probably not. It's only worth it if you if you can have like the best recipes from AQ and MC and stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you have engineering and mining, you kind of miss a part of the gameplay. I feel like enchanting gives you so much more things to do at level 60. You have the whole journey to get all the recipes and to sell those things, and the same thing goes for things like alchemy and blacksmithing. You add some gameplay by going with those professions because you want to try and get those recipes and sell them and become like the main guy with that profession on the server. You don't have that thing with engineering as much, so that's something I dislike about engineering.
Yeah, you can have it for a little bit, right? Of making like get thorium shells first and stuff like that. But I hear you on that.
Goes, I am going to roll gnome rogue.
The hell.
DevCamp, we got 2 donations. DevCamp and Mel. I'm assuming that's Melderon at work slacking off, saying he's rolling gnome rogue, dude. Yeah, you go gnome rogue, dude. I'm ready for you. Also, thank you though, Mel. Thank you, Doctor. T Malik 84 with the $10 in the chat. He says it was possible to kite my bay Chandris Feathermoon to Orgrimmar in Kato. Would make for great beta stream content if doable in Classic, but maybe impossible. Thoughts? I mean, as long as you can tag stuff consistently, right? You should be able to kite anything, right? What do you guys think? As long as you hit it, every couple seconds. I don't know who that is. That NPC doesn't come to mind right away off the bat. Is that?
Well, they didn't they Asmongold farm he did a world boss. What was a world boss? Who did Asmon? Didn't they send someone to friggin' Stormwind in the beta?
Probably, or maybe the developer spawned it for him.
I forgot who it was. No. They actually kited it, I think. Yeah.
It's the dragon from the Blacklands.
Oh, that's a classic kiting thing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I got you. Those big black drakes, right? Yeah. I think it's possible. T Malik, I don't know where's Chandris Feathermoon. Sounds like a night elf.
She's in the Feralis, the island.
Feralis.
Yeah.
That's gonna be tough because Feralis is like we're only level 40 right now, so
yeah,
you're gonna run into a lot of dazing. You need a good group to do that for sure.
Yeah,
it's true. I mean, a hunter would be best for the job, right? The nature of physical physical
absolutely.
range is the best, but okay.
Yeah, right. Terminus. They did Terminus. Asmongold did Terminus.
Let me think. What profession am I missing right now? Did we cover all of them? I'm trying to think if there's anything interesting. Professions are more interesting of a topic than I thought. I have to say after playing the beta, I'm thinking about them a lot more.
We never talk about blacksmithing.
Yeah, blacksmithing is like the least played profession, right?
I know, but like as an enchanter, like you need the rods and I don't know. It's like,
but it's the role playing with blacksmithing, the sounds, the anvils, if you're in Ironforge, it really it adds to your character. I kind of like it, and
I don't want to give away his secrets too. I just realized too, but guys, start thinking about fishing and cooking. All right, just start thinking about it. Just think about those carefully. All right, like we're playing the game. It's gonna be summertime. Just think about. Shout out to Two Dads if he's watching right now. Just think about it. We're playing fishing, cooking. It's gonna be the summertime. Think about those professions.
You gotta
as well.
share it now. What the?
No. Just people will know. The 200 IQ people will know. So.
Damn it. I wish I had an IQ. Oh, I think
it's
an IQ.
Summer. It has to do with the season, right?
No. What is that? What is he talking about, bro? Okay. Okay, you're right. Yeah, but anyway. So let's see what else, dude. Okay, professions. Okay, we talked about world PvP a little bit. Respecking. It's kind of nice right now that the respec is so cheap on the beta. I've been messing around with some stuff.
Oh, what about the? Have anyone heard anything more about the fishing pole to hit ratio? So like if your fishing is maxed out to 300, you're hitting as if your weapon is 300. Have we heard anything more about that? Is that right? Is it supposed to stay like that?
I have no fucking clue, dude. I mean, I people are assuring. Some people are telling me that that's how it's supposed to work. With the fishing skill, I have no idea. I didn't see anybody, making plays with the fishing pole back in the day, or I probably would have remembered it.
I mean, it's kind of crazy, but I couldn't believe it when I I'm like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, just because your fishing is good doesn't mean you should hit people hard with a rod. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's
but
like,
it hits for like 1 DPS, so
in sense of like the RPS. Well, no, there's the one that's what is it called? The friggin' what's the name? Fishing pole. It hits pretty friggin' hard. But yeah.
How much is it? Like 17?
I mean, for the level that it was, and when your hit is that high.
Well, it's because there's no glancing, right? You have
there's no glancing, right? Yeah.
There's no glancing penalty.
Mm-hmm.
You're hitting as if you're that like a level 60, even though the weapon doesn't hit that hard.
Right.
But you don't have any glancing penalties, so it's.
I see.
I mean, the fishing pole is allowing people to do this high-end content, right? I saw Stacey trying to do Sunken Temple. Like, that's because of the fishing pole, right? Gotta be.
So, how long do you think the betas should stay?
That's a good question. Real quick, before we end on professions, there is one donation right before we transition over to that topic. Connor Villa with the bits. Thank you very much, man. Can you give a quick summary of the professions? If you had to summarize the professions in one sentence, that's probably impossible. Maybe it's not impossible. I'll try. Engineering is the only profession that directly impacts gameplay. It's best in slot for both PvE and PvP.
Really good for PvP.
Combination of both explosives and trinkets and all that actually directly affect gameplay, and that is impactful both in PvE and PvP. Whether you're DPS, whether you're healing, whether you're tanking, doesn't matter. It directly affects
Other than
gameplay.
that, it's a little bit boring.
I'm gonna put mining, herbalism. These things are kind of in the same bucket, right? Of gathering professions. I'm kind of holding them all equal, but because engineering is going to be best for both PvE and PvP, weight that accordingly. You want to give a shot at other ones, anyone?
Yeah, enchanting is like if you can manage to be the best enchanter of the server, or at least be the guild enchanter, you will make money. You will need to spend a lot of money in order to get to 300 skill, but it's worth it, and it's the most social profession out there.
And you're making your gear better. So if something has, plus you can put plus 100 health, or you can add damage and things like this. You can add agility to certain items, so you can add bonuses to the items. And alchemy is basically
it's actually the only profession in which you have to communicate with people, and I kind of like that of enchanting. It's like you stand on the market. No, not the market. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like you stand in the main city and you spam the chat in order to gain money. That's something unique about it.
Alchemy is really cool because you can make different potions, the things that, first of all, give yourself health, give yourself mana. We're talking about fat, free action potions, great in PvP. Alchemy is probably one of the biggest ones where you can use in so many different instances, flasks, which give, extra, armor and extra spell power and extra mana, different things that have huge effects that, will only last a certain amount of time, but will buff your character immensely. And you can make a ton of money off it as well. And it goes, of course, hand in hand with herbalism. And then, what else? Blacksmithing, pretty self-explanatory. You can make items, for Lion's Heart's Helm. You can make, weapon chains. Probably one of the least popular professions.
Yeah, but super cool because you have 4 different specializations to go in. And it's becoming really interesting once the Burning Crusade hits. And then you will be happy that you you have like hammersmithing or something like that.
Also,
it's really hard. Sorry?
Yeah. The fear trinket. A lot of people forget about the fear trinket, which is later, but
it's really hard to level 300 skill. It's very expensive, but you will like the sound of the anvil. It's worth it.
And then you got your secondary profession. We got leatherworking, of course.
Leatherworking.
And tailoring, which are very, similar. You can make items that are, cloth or leather and even some other things. But yeah, so, which is awesome as well. You can make a lot of money off of. And then you have your secondary professions like first aid, cooking, fishing. You even have lockpicking and poison. So yeah, a lot of different things you can do. It's very RP oriented stuff.
Well, the good things with leatherworking and tailoring is they are both very, very cheap to do. And leatherworking is easy and cheap because it's with skinning, of course, which is like the cheapest material. And tailoring is very cheap because everything drops. So I think those are the easiest to level.
Also, some of these professions are doable organically, naturally, while you level. Some stuff like enchanting tailoring is pretty straightforward. You can power level them while you level, is what I would say. Skinning as well, same boat. Herbalism, mining, kind of same boat. Some stuff like blacksmithing, engineering, a little bit harder to do it, right? Like you have to, I don't know. It's not as organic to level them.
Yeah, there's a spot for every profession in the game. Everything is needed in the end.
Everything is needed, right. So... Thank you for that donation, by the way, and sorry for the little purple pop-up on the screen right now. Before we transition over to the other topic, guys, I want to make a little quick announcement to you guys. So, Dunidane's involved with the project. Ale is massively involved with the project. DefCamp, myself, we're all involved with this project. This is a website we've been working on for a very long time now. I mean, for 7+ months since before the demo happened. classicwow.live. It's kind of our baby. We've been working on it for a while now. Ale's the main, dev and engineer, been working on it. And I just want to announce to you guys that we do have another feature on the site now. So there's this atlas that we've launched on there, and it looks really cool. Taladrill and Ale have been working really hard on it. And it's pretty sweet. So if you guys are making leveling routes for yourself, or if you want to refamiliarize yourself with the zones, you can go to this atlas, right? And chime in here too, guys, to help out promote it, because I'm probably not doing the best job. But here's the atlas. You can click any zone here, and you can straight up like Google satellite image it, pretty much, and click a zone like Winter Spring, and even all the caves. All the caves, you can hover over a cave and click a cave, and you can see inside the cave. Like you can see every single place in the world right now. On this, atlas.
You know how many times I've gotten lost in what's the name? I'm forgetting the name of it now. Timbermall Hold. Now you can open it up and literally like find the way through. It's like remember back in the day those cereal boxes that would have like the map behind. You can find your way through Timbermall Hold. I was showing people yesterday. We were talking about in stream, where I was farming these jungle remedies. And if you go there in Stranglethorn Vale, Cargo's northeastern Stranglethorn Vale, you can look and you'll see right there the Curzon compound.
I got you.
The top right, and he shows you exactly in the background. There's a picture, so what it looks like, the different houses, and you can see that. Okay, like this is where I farm the medicine men for jungle remedies to remove poisons and diseases. So it's just really cool to like go even further. All these other maps around, only shows you the zone. Well, our map will show you the Atlas version of it from like the Google Maps, and you can go inside the caves and look and see
pretty much
these even inside Gromwell Base Camp, all these other places, Booty Bay, all these other things that you can look into and see.
Every cave in the damn game, you can go and look inside and get the layout. Seriously. So even if you're lost in the game, you can pull it up, or if you're making a guide and you want to like highlight little objectives on here or whatever. Ale and Taladrill have been working really hard on this, so you guys could go check it out. And I'll put the link in the chat right now. It's classicwow.live. It's pretty much how it is, what it sounds like. And pretty much we're trying to develop lots of cool features and new tools for you guys, help improve your experience, help bring the community together. We also got forums on there. We're about to have a talent calculator kind of soon, right, Ale? I've been dying for that. You guys know I love the talent so much. Yeah, we're about to have a talent calculator on there too, and you can check out all the people streaming. Oh, I'm on here right now. But all the people streaming in the community, you can see them live here, kind of a bird's eye perspective. Well, I'm watching myself. That's weird. All right, let me get out of this. All right, that's pretty much it though. Wanted to shout that out to you guys because we launched it as of today. That Atlas with all that additional features. So
yep, and more features coming soon.
Big Ale there making plays, man.
Talent calculator coming. So yeah, a lot of cool things.
Yep, absolutely.
Anything you want to talk about, Ale, on that end?
Yeah, basically there's going to be a lot more to come right up to launch. Like this week, like you said, we added all the underground zones, which are really cool because there's nowhere that those maps really exist. Taladrill's created all of that, so we've put that online. We're also open to suggestions and things like that. So if you have any comments or things aren't working quite how you expect or whatever, give us your feedback. Hop by our Discord and let us know. And we're going to continuously be working on it. So it's a community-driven site. So help us out for sure.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we're just guys like you that we love this game, we love the community, and this site's brought us closer. It's bringing all of us closer in the chat right now. So this is hopefully a platform for us, made by us. It's not like an add-on. It's not like an additional thing you just tack onto your site or whatever. This is really truly just for us. It's our little home. So hope you guys enjoy it. All right, what do you guys want to talk about next? Anything?
Yeah. Okay. How long should the beta
exist?
So it's something I thought a little bit about, but I'm not in the beta, so I'll probably have another idea about it. So I would like to hear your opinions first.
Honestly, I don't want it to go to 60. Even though I do want to do testing I feel like there needs to be testing for, so I'm very mixed feelings about this, right? Because I do want to test to make sure that the high-end, dungeons are okay, and maybe like Molten Core and this and the other. But at the same time, I don't want to because I want to save that experience. I don't want to. It's very, very hard, right? I don't want to play the beta all the way up till the last day, and then boom, then there's launch. Like I don't know. I need to hear what you guys think about this as well because I have a lot of mixed feelings. Ale, Cargos, either you guys.
I'll jump in. I'm a blabbermouth though, so.
I'll go first then, like Cargos. I kind of almost feel the same way. It's like a lot of this stuff while leveling, like we know these characters are disposable, and when you're playing, it isn't going to last that long. But that end game stuff is going to. So I kind of, like I said, I want it to be tested and things like that. Wow. It will kind of lessen the impact, I think, for us in the beta when we do get to 60. It's probably like the only benefit you guys have for not being able to play it is that, we're going to be able to like test it for you, make sure it's great, but like, us being able to see it before you guys, it's going to make our like first experience outside of the beta kind of a little bit worse.
Well said. Sorry, my puppy's in the background going crazy. Okay. You can hear them.
And how long is it going to last? I think they will go to 60, but it won't last that long. Like we'll have 60 for like a week or two. So like maybe like, I don't know, end of June or end of July. I think end of July.
I actually, it might sound a bit weird, but I actually feel like the beta should probably stop with next week or something like that. And that's not because I don't want you guys to have fun in the beta, because I'm not into the beta. That's not the reason why, but I feel like most of the things are tested right now, and it doesn't really matter as much to go higher now, Most of the bugs are known. People have tested everything, or am I wrong?
I think one of the main things is like, mechanics for some bosses and armor values and also, HPME with spell power, stuff like that. So I think there is definitely a whole another aspect of the game at end game that needs to be tested.
That's end game, all of it, right?
Right. Yeah, and my question is, how far do we want to go with that? You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, while there are a lot of things that need to be tested with like spell coefficients, with armor values, this and the other, do I want to even really experience that in the beta? That's the question, right? So as far as like being selfish, like I would like to save that, but if I'm a beta tester, then that's what I'm supposed to be doing, is testing that stuff. So
Run is going crazy in the chat.
What do you say? There's a lot more that needs to be tested.
I'd probably say another couple weeks, man. A couple weeks, but I feel you. I think that there is value in stopping the beta kind of early, right? Because even right now, we were talking with an SEO guy yesterday, and he was saying that there's a lull in the hype right now. I don't know if you guys are feeling that. I'm actually feeling all right because I'm playing the beta a little bit, but I think overall there's a little bit of a lull.
A lot, yeah.
Okay, you're feeling it a lot. You guys feeling it a lot in the chat? It's kind of the hype is kind of a little bit down a little bit. So I see value in ending the beta a little bit early, but for effect to get people salivating, right? To get people salivating again, going like, man, dude, I want to play some Classic. I haven't even seen it in a couple weeks, you know? So I definitely see that. Again, Comedy Gaming with the $5, man. He made a donation while we were talking.
Oh, love him.
Yeah,
love
Comedy
him.
Gaming, big supporter of Def Camp Melder on TV. With the $5 saying if we have an overlay or something we could put on a Twitch stream, he's gonna put it on his stream while he streams. That's very kind of you, brother. Hopefully we can hook that up, man. And thank you for your continued support. And another donation, another biddy real quick. Code Blue with the 100. They're not close enough to done yet. It's very obvious that they're still experimenting and tinkering with layering and batching frequency.
Yeah.
Also, class balance at max level is critical, and raids may be important.
That's so true right there. I mean, Code Blue, that is, yeah.
It's not well, yeah. I feel like layering should be probably, and the spell batching thing as well. But other than that, it doesn't really make sense to me to go like to level 50 next time. So I think like at level 40 you can test anything except for the raids stuff. So probably they should just make like raid servers and.
So you're saying just end. So you're saying just go from like 40, forget going to 50. Just go to end game now.
Yeah,
is what you're saying?
Just skip to level 60. Right. You can make level, test some raids, see how it goes.
Because honestly, I feel like there needs to be a lot done as far as that. Like Melderon was saying, like as far as spell coefficients, armor values, then you got to think about like, the whole other thing we're talking about, are shamans getting the melee or the ranged, difference, or do they get that 10% extra? There's just a lot to go on. Spell resistance when it comes to like nature damage, so many things that I think a lot of people, it's just like outside the box kind of stuff, or not outside the box, just crazy, stuff that goes into raiding and even PvP as well. So,
but at the same time, I just like you said, I wouldn't want to test raids. Actually,
yeah,
I feel like if I get invited to a raid test, I might not even join.
I think there's risk of giving away too much. I don't know, man. I feel like that ship has sailed, though. That line of reasoning has sailed. They've already given away. Yeah. But at the same time, it's an old game that people have seen before. So yeah, I really don't know if I'm in a position to say, maybe what I think in my own mind isn't the correct way. But yeah, I mean, I do think that having the beta for this long and so open and so consistent and out there nonstop 24/7 beta, it could possibly negatively impact the hype. When the launch day actually comes, but maybe not. Maybe it could be bigger and better because there's been so much marketing and exposure to it or whatever, but we'll never freaking know, man. It's just TBD.
Yeah, that's right.
So that sounds good.
We'll see what happens, but for the most part, I feel like we're probably going to get to level 60, but I don't know how much of it we'll do.
You think in the beta we're going to get to 60?
I think the way it seems like now, I mean, we're already at level 40, right? We have, it's June what? What's today's date? June.
It's 13th.
13th. We've got all of June left, all of July. I think there's plenty of time to get to 60.
Oh yeah, I mean there'd be plenty of time. There would be plenty of time, and I guess they do want to test all. I mean, if you're going to test some of the quests, you might as well test all the quests, I guess. Right. See if anything is bugged on the way up. But anyway, guys. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, go.
I was just gonna say, like, are they even getting the testing they need on that? Because people leveled from 30 to 40 in dungeon. I kind of think that's why they're doing this AV the way they are, instead of just like bumping the cap up, is because like most of the people in the beta didn't level doing quests and things. They just leveled in dungeons, right? So I wonder how much that plays into it as well. Like maybe they're going to do kind of like Dunedin suggested, and just very specific testing to make sure they get what they need.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, that's probably the smarter decision. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So shall we round up?
Yeah, let's do it. So we talked about a lot today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the discussion. I want to quickly plug the guild too, because it's starting to come to a head now. So guys, we love hanging out with you. We love you guys. We want to build a strong, healthy community. There's a lot of different communities too. It's not just Def Camp's guild or Dunedain's or Ale's guild or my guild. It's all of our guild. It's not any kind of monarchy or anything like that. It's a collective effort. A lot of different communities and cool people coming together. We're going to start a guild called Invictus, and it's going to be on a Realm TBD. If you guys are interested in playing with us, you are more than welcome. All of you. You are more than welcome, man. Like, as long as you're kind of cool and you don't mind.
Chandra's Feathermoon is
Holy
the general
moly.
of the Sentinel Army.
You just got a $100 donation, bro.
Something happened,
Blizzard
dude.
had to nerf her because her moonbeams were percentage
What
based
just happened right now?
PS.
You just
She
got a $100
murdered
donation.
Orgrimmar and Garrosh with ease in Kata. If Asmon's team could kite elites to SW, you guys can do it too.
T Malik with the hundo throwing Benjamins in the chat. Legend. Chandra's Feathermoon. Okay. Now I kind of feel compelled to kite her, man. You want to try it, Ale? Like,
I'm down.
I'm down. Dude, thank you very much, man. That's a very generous donation of you. I will try my best. I'm a warlock. She's going to resist everything and clap me in 1 second, but I'll do my best. She murdered Orgrimmar and Garrosh with ease and Kata. If Asmon's teams could kite elites to Stormwind, you guys can do it too. So is she confirmed in the beta? I'll give it a shot, man. Wish I was a hunter though for that kiting. Thank you very much. Oh, here comes the spam. Let me just hide this person. Thank you very much for the hunter. I don't know what to say, man. That's very kind of you. If you guys want to play with us and join the community, join the guild, you're more than welcome. Should probably link the application in there in the chat. I'll do that in a second. We'd love to hang out with you guys and play with you guys. We're going to have our own little quiet corner of Azeroth together. It's going to be a lot of fun. And again, big shout out to Ale for joining us here, man, like with Facecam and everything, guys. Can you guys please, if you guys enjoy any of our content, Dunedain, Def Camp, or myself, can you please go to Twitch right now and follow the Ale Nation? Because the Ale Nation is where it's at. I'm gonna put his.
He just started streaming not too long ago, guys. He's a natural. He's awesome. So
it's Ale Gaming, right?
Yeah.
Ale Gaming.
Ale Gaming. Yeah. Ale Gaming.
Okay. Ale, Big Ale, one of the nicest guys, one of the smartest guys you'll ever meet. Go make this guy part of your life. Here, I'm spamming it like 3 times and everything. There you go.
I'm gonna report you.
Okay. Go follow him. He's a great guy. You're gonna learn a lot from this guy. And he's just streaming. He's doing really well. Great content. And
chill as hell too. Like,
I take the evening shift, so these guys usually stream during the day, and I'll be playing at night. So if you guys are interested in seeing, warrior, shaman, mage stuff on the beta, especially this weekend for AV, come check me out.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. And are you streaming tonight? Or you'll be on tonight, right, Al?
I'll be on tonight.
After that, probably. Yeah. So I won't, guys. So if you guys want to head over and watch Al, give Al a check to see. So
check him out. And I'm also going to put the guild link in the chat right now, too. Sorry for the spam. Lots of links. But if you want to play with us.
I put it in there as well. But yeah.
Can I put mine as well?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. If you want to play EU with Big Dune, throw it in there, man. I might have to give you mod. I think maybe I already did.
I think he is. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
There it is. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got a new logo for Invictus. You're gonna see in the guild chat. I have it in there. I should probably pin that post so you guys can see it. The logo for Invictus. Should I pull? Cause is there a way I can pull this up? Let me try and pull this up. This. Maybe it's too late. If you can see it in the guild chat.
It's the one in the guild chat, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see it in the Discord. If you're not part of the Discord already, you're missing out. I'm gonna pin it.
So, I'm just going to add. First of all, if you're not from the US and you want to be in an alliance guild, you can check out the Discord link I posted in the chat. And second of all, if you want to see more of those episodes of Good Morning Azeroth, you can find all of those on my own channel and also on classicwow.live. And I will link both in the chat as well.
Okay, sweet.
There you go.
All right, guys. So you heard it here. Thank you for hanging out with us again today. We'll be back probably same time, maybe Saturday next week. We'll see. Melderon will be there.
Yeah.
But thanks again. I'm gonna drop you guys on Joanna. So Joanna rated me with 400 plus, biggest host I ever got in my life. Please join his chat and show him some love. It would mean a lot to me because I'm sure he's really trying to reciprocate the favor because he was very nice to drop that many people on me. I never had that many people drop on me before. So I'm gonna go host Joanna right now, guys. The GOAT leveler. I hope you guys had a good time hanging out with us today. I'm going to end the stream here, and I'll see you guys real soon, all right? Peace out.
Keep on keeping.